EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Carolina Panthers and the Houston Texans. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Detroit! Detroit! Leopard! Leopard!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Lucky 56. No. Check. Patriot. Leopard.
They'll run it now out of the gun. That's the 45. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Avery Williamson there to make the stop.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now, Barney!
They'll run it now out of the gun. Finds a seam inside the 40. And finally brought down at the 38. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Back 99, Philly, here we go.
First down, Marino. His throw incomplete. Tre'Davious White, the LSU man, there to knock it away that time.
Yeah, good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
Now, Barney! Detroit!
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it. And boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup. And guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up the first down.
And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again. They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. The former Charger All-Pro Eric Weddle on the stop. Now, they had the box stacked. That run was going nowhere from the start.
And when you say stacked, you really mean it, don't you? Because when you're talking about a 46 defense, commonly known as...
And they'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. In for the score. And the Texans take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the fourth quarter. That's when the knockout occurs.
And it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives.
Gotta go. You see it?
They begin with a run by Smith. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now Trubisky to throw on 2nd. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Let's see what they draw up here. 3rd and long following the sack of Trubisky. From the shotgun is Trubisky. Looking deep downfield. Looking for Baldwin. Intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down the score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
And the Texans set to come onto the field. It's a quick turnaround for them after the turnover, but the way they moved it on their last drive, they're probably eager to get right back at it.
And you know me and you know my tendencies in this situation. What do I want right now?
Be aggressive.
Be aggressive. Take your shot right here.
Watch him now, Barney. Barney.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 6 to start things out.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Watch him now, Barney. Barney. Watch him now, Barney. Barney. Check three. Check. Motion to backfield.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. I actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
Blue 90. Blue 90. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up 1st and goal now.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
Flag 99 Philly, here we go. No. Check, Patriot. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
The Texans on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and goal.
No. Check, Patriot.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there. Touchdown number 15 on the year. And the Texans will extend their lead. A close call here. Did the ball cross the plane? I don't know. From the naked eye, this was tough to tell.
Always difficult when there's such a tangle of bodies around. You're just trying to find the ball and make sure just a portion of it crossed the plane of the goal line.
They'll try the field goal now with Graham Gano. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And Gano's kick is right through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. They took it all the way to the 1, but in the end, opt for 3.
Just doesn't sound right, does it? If you got all the way down to the 1-yard line, isn't that supposed to be a play in the end zone that culminates in a touchdown for your team?
And per usual, it felt like the guys on the sideline wanted to go ahead and go for it.
Of course they did, but of course head coach, it defers back to him, and he made the decision. Let's get 3 out of this, make sure we get some points.
Carolina getting set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. They go play action. Trubisky. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Now Trubisky on 3rd and long. He completes it to Julio Jones. Despite a pickup of 16, they're still well short of the sticks on 4th.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-pointer through the post, that's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking...
To help him at contract time, you could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up.
No. Check. Patriot.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to find a little space. He gets us up over the 15 to the 16. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up.
We got 3, fellas. We got 3. No. Check that. We're like 52 right here. Gun!
Marino here from the gun. He's going to air one out. And that's caught inside the 35. So with a big gainer anyways, they'll go ahead and take that instead of the pass interference call.
They didn't need the penalty. It would have been different, right, if they had somehow lost some yardage somewhere, but they did not. Gained all they could, down to the spot of the foul. Nothing to be gained by taking the penalty.
Leopard!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got about 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 25.
Guilt trip is here, baby. Guilt trip is here.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout.
Watch it now, Barney. Detroit! Detroit!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now. And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. And they'll go on the ground. A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps them pick up the first. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. And they'll run it here. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The Texans on 3rd down. No problems to this point. A perfect 5 for 5. This will be 3rd and 5. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. And Gano's kick is right through. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. Still a little bit of time left here in the 2nd quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. To return, this is Doug Baldwin. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Final 17 seconds of the half here as they come up to the line, 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to air one out. And this will be caught at the 30. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A big play there just before halftime. 48 yards. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Gano out to kick this one away. Now here's Baldwin. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the 3rd quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, Are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or do they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they felt like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one good for 33 and a first. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And a nice gain of 21 yards. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17.
Lock in.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Panthers are able to get this back within a touchdown. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this third quarter. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But we also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan 1st down.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
No. Check. Patriot.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Watch him now, Barney.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid game. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. They're just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Gun!
Right back to him on first down. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
319. 319. No. Check. Patriot. Patriot. Go. 60 Mike. 60 Mike. 60 Mike. You.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And a short gain here down to the 22. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. Back now in Houston. It's the Texans in control of the football and leading this game as well as we start the 4th. The Texans on 3rd down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, Marino. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target in the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him.
So an empty possession there. What do you think went wrong, Charles?
Well, it looked like maybe the plant leg might have given way just a little. And when that happens, guys have a tendency to pull through the ball to compensate. And in doing so, sent this one off target.
A first down carry for Smith. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. On 2nd down, here's Smith. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. They'll get a couple yards back, but not more than that. They'll be left with 12 yards to go on third down.
Come on, come on. Hey, gotta go, gotta go. Hey, gotta go, gotta go. Hey, 18.
Now Trubisky. And a big loss here as he's taken down. And here the pressure from the outside linebacking spot.
And normally when that happens and they're able to get home, that means the other guys on his team helped him out a lot. That they occupied people to allow it to be no less than a one-on-one situation, allows him to get home.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And now out comes Houston. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the fourth quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, fourth quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. They'll run it now out of the gun. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
We know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
Lucky 56.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. The ball still a few inches shy of the marker after the 3-yard run, so now a little soul-searching on fourth down.
You got him. You got him. You got him.
The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. They'll try and throw forward Marino. Man open, it's Moss complete. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Texans will add on to their lead. Wow, talk about a big 4th down conversion for the score defensively. How do you let that happen?
I think you start with the offense and you give them credit for going for it and having that kind of, well, let's face it, audacity. But defensively, I think you're right on target, partner. There's no way something like that's supposed to happen in that situation. You're supposed to be able to shut that down and get the ball back for your own team. Instead, they give up not just a big play, but a touchdown.
And around the goal line, especially on 2-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
Carolina getting set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Now Trubisky to throw. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
Well, the pressure, the hits, the sacks have been coming at him all game long. I'm frankly surprised that they haven't found a solution yet to create more time for him to throw it or maybe change what they do on offense.
And that's one of the biggest differences in this game and why they're losing right now. On third down, Trubisky. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
Yeah, once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And the grab made by Doug Baldwin. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Good gain there on first down. It keeps him in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front. Good blocking. Nice hole for him. Ends up picking up nice yardage. Stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. They'll run it now out of the gun. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to third down.
Another good run for him. What else is new? That'll put him right at 150 yards for the game, so he's really made his presence felt in this one.
The Texans on third down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
Set. Green 39. Green 39. Back 99 Philly, here we go.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And down inside the 15 he goes. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. So they come up on 2nd down, and they can get another run like we just saw. Would likely put an end to this thing. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches. They're going on 4th down. Marino. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on 4th. And that will force a turnover on downs. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this up past the 10 to about the 11. Now whistles and a timeout called here. Not sure of the point of this, but they'll stop it with 4 seconds to go in the game.
Let's go, let's go. Red, up. Sit up. 180.
One last shot for Trubisky. Blitz coming, and down he goes. And, Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home games. That much we know. We want to protect our home turf. They got that done in this one.
Exactly right. When you start a season, everyone's goal: win all of your home games, split your road games, and you're likely going to be in the playoffs. But when you win at home, boy, what a great feeling that is. You don't even mind if people are at your house when you get home after a win like that.
So for the Texans, it's a 10th win of the year now as they move to 10-4. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Atlanta Falcons next week. Meanwhile, for the Panthers, their playoff hopes take a hit as they drop to 7-7. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Los Angeles Rams. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.
white rank. Couldn't hit if it had ain't. Lanes can't call and you lame. You had it and you lost it.